8 simple ways to find undervalued properties for maximum rental income. Hey guys, it's Rahim. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button because I talk about property investment, personal development, and how to gain financial freedom. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the 8 ways I use to buy undervalued properties that give me maximum return on my investment. For those who don't know me, I started my property investment journey just over 7 years ago. I was in a job where I was undervalued, underappreciated, going nowhere. I took the leap of faith to start my property investment by renting out properties from landlord, and I subsequently rent those properties out. The money I made from those properties, I invest in buying my own properties. I was able to build that to a multi-million pound property investment portfolio, and I have an estate agency, a renovation company, and now help professionals like yourself to use property as a vehicle to make recurring income using my tried and tested methods. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategies I implement to buy undervalued properties that gives me massive return on my investment. Before we get going, thanks for being part of the family. The family has grown immensely. The channel has grown so much more in a level where I would have only dreamed of, only because you've subscribed to the channel. So thank you. If you're new to the channel, you've just hit this video, you happen to watch me, hit the subscribe button to join the family, because I share property investment tips, personal development, and how to gain financial freedom. So hit that subscribe button now. Hit it. I'm looking at you, I'm watching you. Hit it. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Here's a promise I'm going to make. I'm going to provide you with valuable, actionable content to help you invest in properties. So how do I actually secure undervalued properties that gives me serious return on my investment? The first thing I do, I leverage property platform, because before you do anything else, it's important for you to find out what's out there. So the platforms I usually use is Zoopla and RightMove. But RightMove is my go-to platform because RightMove has wider market as well as a lot more properties that I can go and look at to see if there's any undervalued properties in them. What we're now going to do, we're going to move onto the computer, go into RightMove and see what exactly we've got there. And the investment areas I'm looking at today in this video is Manchester. I hear this amazing thing happening in Manchester, especially Greater Manchester. Property prices are looking to creep up and the rental demand is massive. So in this example, we're going to use Manchester to see what we can get from it. Let's jump onto the computer. So there we are. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to RightMove. So I'm gonna go to RightMove now. So if we type RightMove here, so RightMove comes up. RightMove's got 90% of the property market. So if you ever want to look for properties, maybe you want to try RightMove, because that's where you get almost all the properties advertised in the United Kingdom. So once you've hit RightMove, you've got this dialog box that gives you a menu of buying houses, renting, house prices, find an agent, commercial, inspire overseas, all that stuff are there. But what I'm going to look at now is the search menu at the bottom that would allow us to put the location that we're interested in investing. So we're interested in investing in Manchester. Let's see if what I'm anticipating to do works. So you put Manchester, you type Manchester there, and then you hit search, then it brings this dialog box. But here's the thing, when I'm looking for properties, I don't go looking for all type of properties or all prices. I have a bracket that I set in order to get me to the properties I'm actually looking at. So in this example, we're gonna go here. Okay, we're going to set a minimum of £50,000 and a maximum of £170,000 properties. And I like to buy 3-bedroom houses. Why? 3-bedroom houses are bigger houses, and obviously we're targeting families. We want these families to be able to stay there for a very long time. So I'm going to do 3-bedroom houses. And of course, I'm going to choose houses. You may be thinking, why did I not choose apartment, bungalows, and all that sort of thing? I like to use houses because houses give me wider market, and houses are things that I can convert to different things, rather than apartment. For example, apartment, you're confined and you're restricted to that square footage, so you can't do significant value in those properties. Hence the reason why I love my houses. When I click houses, and then obviously I'm gonna hit find. So when I hit find, it gives me the number of properties that are available within my bracket from 50 to 170,000 pounds. So what I then do, we get the result. So once we at the result page, it gives you all these things here. But because I don't want to go looking at all the houses, all the 38 houses, I might not have time for that. So what I will do, I will filter it this way. I'm going to go to lowest houses because I want to see the cheaper price houses that are undervalued that I can push up in value as well. So what I then do, I start looking for houses this way. So I start looking, keep going that way. None of this caught my eyes. Keep going, keep going, keep going. None of this caught my eyes. You see, you can see that there are lots of properties here. When I keep going, I want to keep going. But this one here, this one caught my eyes for one reason, for a few reasons actually. One reason is literally it looks like something that I can do a bit of work in, right? It's something that I can go and add value. And secondly, it has 2 bathrooms as well, meaning there's a scope to have a bigger family, and with 2 bathrooms they may be able to use the facilities nicely, and it looks like it's undervalued as well, especially looking at the condition of the property here. So so you can see the properties on the market for £145,000. It's a terrace house. It's a 3-bedroom, and it's ideal for investment, which is really good. And that's the size of the property. Got two bathroom there. It looks like they've got 1 bathroom upstairs as well as 1 bathroom downstairs, which is kind of amazing. Okay, well, WC downstairs by the look of it. Okay, so you've seen all that. Okay, unfortunately, there's no floor plan. But with this property, we now know as investors, obviously, when you're buying properties, you want to be buying undervalued property, this is one of them, meaning you can go and negotiate. It's £145,000 and buy it, and you go and add some love to the property. You go and literally renovate the property to force the value a little bit to bring it to where it's supposed to be. But again, we're going to look at how we can know how much we may be able to sell this property and see whether we're able to make profit out of it. So looking at the photos, it's a massive bedroom that is. You've got the kitchen here. We need to upgrade the kitchen. We've got the WC downstairs. We have the bathroom upstairs. We have another bedroom here, another bedroom, and it's got a nice, amazing garden. Look how long that garden is. It looks appealing to families, isn't it? So moving on, you can see the entrance there. It's got something like a driveway as well, maybe a front garden we can call it. Okay, so it's got a huge potential. It's got a huge potential. So that's how you can identify on the market undervalued property. Okay, so now we know we're interested in this property, but what we're gonna do now is to find out what are property how much are properties going up by in Manchester specifically, because we want to know roughly how much we may be able to kind of get from investing in properties like this. So we have already been told there's already an offer for £150,000, but I can see that. I just pretend it's not there. Basically, I'm going to go and ask for that property, hopefully get it at that price or below market price. So now we know we can get that property for £145,000. But the thing also you need to note here with properties like this, it's important for you to check how far they are from everything, because obviously end of the day you want it to be close to amenities and train station and all these travel links. So you can see here very close to most of the stations, about 400 yards away. Falworth is 600 yards away, and Hollingwood station is also not far away. So you've got options of 3 train stations. That's a massive benefit for your investment property. So now, assuming that we want to buy investment properties here, what you want to do basically is to ensure that you buy if you do not buy these properties, if anything happen in that investment area, you get a notification. If that property price goes down, or anybody or any agent actually bring a property in the market, you get a notification. You'll be the first person to know, so that you can go and take an advantage of that. So what we could do here is this, okay? You can go and create an account. It's very easy to create an account in RightMove, and it's completely free of charge as well. You don't pay anything for it. So what you do, then you come here, you're going to create an alert. So what you do with that alert is for them to alert you when a property comes up within this range, £50,000 to £170,000. So you're going to create that alert by doing that. And then obviously you will then get a notification in your account on your email address and say, hey John, there's a property in the market within this range. It's likely to be a property that you may be interested in, so that way you do not miss any amazing deal in your investment area. So assuming now we've got that property, but before we could have done this, actually we would have gone back and checked what the average house price is in Manchester, and that's exactly what we are about to do. So what you now want to do, we're going to come here. There's a place called house prices. So when you go to house prices menu, you go to sold house prices. You go to sold house prices to work out what are the average house prices in your investment area. So in this case, we know we're investing in Greater Manchester. So we go to Manchester. Okay, so we're in Greater Manchester. You click on Greater Manchester and then you click that. So once you've hit that search button, you get a little sort of summary of how properties are performing in the Manchester area. So let me read. House price in Manchester. Properties in Manchester had an overall average price of £301,378 over the last year. So in essence, properties are going up in value at that point. £300,000 for a property in Manchester. Well, that's a good sign. So moving on, they said here the majority of sales in Manchester during the last year were semi-detached properties selling for an average price of £332,495. Okay, that is for semi-detached houses. Here's the thing. If you are an investor who is looking for semi-detached houses, that could be a sign. That could be something that you may be thinking about. Do I buy semi-detached houses because I can remortgage them at a higher price, or I can sell it on more houses? But let me look, if I was to buy a terrace house, what would it look like? So moving on then, they said here, terrace properties sold for an average of £251,418. Okay, that is also another significant figure. You're thinking about the price of the property that we've just bought, okay? And the property we're just about to buy, actually, we haven't bought it yet, is £145,000 asking price, okay? So they said flat is fetching for £200,000, but I don't like to buy flats. The reason why I don't like to buy flats because of that confinement and all this leasehold, all this stuff that goes with flats. It's just too much of a work for me. I like to buy my houses. And they said the overall sold price in Manchester over the last year were similar to the previous year, and that was 7% up on 2001 peak of £281,000. Hello, property prices has gone up by 7% average in Manchester. Again, if you look at different areas, it may be more, right? Because that is just the average. Okay, that's just the average. So suppose that we went with the average house prices, and we know we've got a semi-detached house that we're looking to buy, and we know that semi-detached house was £145,000. Let's now say we went to the agent, we spoke to the agent, we told the agent, look, we're interested in buying this property, and we negotiate with the agent, and we told the agent, look, we are cash buyers, we got a bridging loan, we've got all this stuff going, knowing that you know what you're doing, right? You can go there and negotiate with that agent. Let's say we negotiate with them, maybe they did not give us lots of discount, okay? Maybe they gave us maybe say £140,000 because of speed. We told them we can buy that property, we can complete as soon as possible. Let's say we bought that property for £140,000. Okay, let's say we bought the property for £140,000. We put the £140,000 here, okay? And also, let's just estimate, perhaps we spend about, let's say £50,000 to get the property to a livable or sellable condition. And you may be thinking, whoa, £50,000 is a lot when I get you, but in property world, it could do you lots and lots and lots of things. And if you're working together, if you know how to raise funds, you can go and raise those funds to renovate the property. If you've got savings, perhaps you want to put your savings into that, because you and I know the savings you've got in the bank is not really giving you any return on your investment. Let's say we invested £50,000 to do the property up. That then takes us, our investment would be £190,000. Not our initial investment, but the total overall value of the property would have gone up at £190,000 when we do the work. This is not the fair market value, but this is our initial investment. Okay, not taking into account the 75% the bank would have lent us. Okay, so in total, everything in, that's what we need to be able to get back to get that property going. So that's £190,000. Now we know average house price for terrace houses are £251,418. So obviously we're not going to go for that. Let's just round that figure up. Let's say basically that property came back at £250,000. So at £250,000 we would have had an equity. We would have increased the property equity by £60,000 by only investing £50,000 to do the property up. You see how you can manipulate a property? You see how you could add value to a property? Can you see how property can make you serious return on your investment? This might be only 2 or 3 months of work and you've added 60,000 on the value of your property. So now, assuming that we've done that work, let's now look what the rental is in Manchester. Okay, moving on, we're gonna go back to Google. We're gonna see here average rent in Manchester. So we search and see. I like a website that I normally use. There's a website I usually use. Let's see if I've got this website. Here you go, home.co.uk. I like this website because it gives me broader perspectives of how much properties are being rented, and it takes real life data and feed it into this website. So let's look at this. Our property was a 3-bedroom house. Okay, so 3-bedroom house is being rented between £1,700 to £2,047 a month. Hello, that is a massive rent in Manchester as well. Okay, we're not talking about London here, we're talking about Manchester. It's £1,700 to £2,047. So let's now go, we're not going to go too high, we're not going to go too low. Okay, let's say we were able to rent our property for £1,800. Let's now see how much yield that investment would have given us. So if we go back here, okay, let's say our annual rental income, we said 1,800. Okay, if we times that by 12, that gives us £21,600. 21,600 is our gross rental income. This is the money we make from the tenant paying us the rent. Okay, now we know, okay, our property price is, we're talking about the money we would have put into this property. Okay, we know we've invested £190,000. So if you've invested £190,000, that would have given us 11% yield for investing that £190,000. Again, this is more than average, right? The average yield in Manchester is 6.5 to 7%, and we are on 11% here. So this is more than average. Here you have it. These are the sort of returns you would be making when you invest in Manchester. So let's look at the second option on how I look for undervalued property. So the second option is auction. What I do, I go to few auction properties. I've got my Paul Foch, I've got my auction house, I've got Pool Auction, I have Allsop, but these are the main ones I look at. But today I'd like us to look at auction house. So if we go to auction house, okay, we go to auction house here. Okay, once you're in auction house, obviously the website is undergoing some improvement, just random thing is happening here. So basically you go here and then you go to all auctions. So once you're in all auctions, you go to the national auction. Basically you go and check and see what sort of properties hit your criteria. And then when you're buying properties in auction, it's important for you to look at properties that you can add value to, because the whole point of buying properties in auction is for you to be able to acquire the property at a significantly below market value, and you go and force the value, recycle your money so you can go again and buy more housing. So that's the objective of buying properties in auction. If you're not doing that, you're wasting your time. Okay, so look at that. There are lots of properties here. You've got one there for £5,000. I don't know what that property is, but I like this one here. You can see this one here. This one is in Oswestry. You go in here, you look at that property, see it needs love to it, and it looks like a Victorian house as well. I like the Victorian houses for a few reasons. Why? One is big. Second, because it's bigger, you can kind of do your own thing to it. You can add an extra bedroom. You can change it to a HMO property, housing multiple occupation, or perhaps you can convert it into flat because it's massive. It lends itself to that sort of opportunity, and this property here could be one of those properties. You can see it's a massive house. Okay, look at the sizes of the lounge. You got a dining room there. Okay, and it's got all this stuff in there. Okay, you can see all the photos I here, and obviously you've got a video tour as well if you wanted to ever see how the property looks. You can see here, it shows you the property. You know, massive potential here. With this property, you can convert it to at least 5-bedroom HMO. You can see here it's got all this potential. Basically, it's a good deal. It's a good deal if you know what you intend to do. This sort of properties, I would be doing it as HMO all day long. That is the second way I look for undervalued properties that gives me serious return on my investment. Let's move on to the third one. The third one is networking with local agents. What do I mean by that? Is visiting the estate agencies in your investment areas. Now, what I'm talking about here, I'm not talking about one-off visit when you just pop in once and you never went back. You have to have very good relationship with this agent in order for them to remember you. You want to be doing something specific, something unique to them. So when something comes up, they remember who you are and they can ring you for when they got deals. And I would like you to be kind of looking at maybe 3 or 4 agents to build a relationship. Don't go having 6, 7, 8. You know you may not be able to keep up with it. Your maximum you want to go for is 4. If you got 3, beautiful. Make sure they notice you. Make sure they know who you are. Send them gift, donut, apples, whatever you want to send them. Send them so they can recognize you, so they can remember you for when good deals come across their desk. And very important for you to know who the manager is, who the assistant manager is, and who the supervisor is, so that you can liaise with these people, building relationship with them in order for them to give you big deals. And here's the way to build relationship. Sport is one of the best way to build relationship. Even if you don't like sport, go and know about football, rugby, tennis, whatever that may be for you, so you can build a relationship with. And here's the thing, you don't need to know everything about sport, right? Anything about sport you know, discuss it. Find out what team they support, right? Find out who they're raving for, who their favorite football player, and all that sort of thing. Build that connection with. If you want to talk about family, ask them how many kids they have, what's the oldest, and all that sort of thing. Try to build a relationship in a way that they remember you when the right deal comes across. And I'm very good at building relationship with estate agents here. And here's the thing, when I did that, they always remember who I am, and they always get me the deals before it hits the market. Number 4, I love to analyze property market. I always do that. I analyze the market, go to various platforms like Property Data, RightMove, Zoopla, to understand where the market is going, where the rent is increasing, where we are getting at, what are the forecasts for property prices, as well as rental demand. And I then adjust my strategies accordingly to go and get undervalued properties, force the value, pull some of my money out, and sit and wait for when the wave comes in to make more equity from that property. So very important for you to be able to understand where the rent is rising, as well as where the property values are going up. The 5th way is check in distressed properties. I love doing that. Here's the thing, I love going out for a walk, I love going out for a run, I love going out for exercise. I love exercise. So what I do when I'm running or when I'm walking around my area is to keep an eye on vacant properties, vacant distressed properties. So what I do, I stop, take a photo of that property, write the door number. When I go home, send a letter to that property, hopefully to get someone to reply to me. You'll be shocked how many people will reply to you about their properties. And if you can do this, you master their strategy, you're gonna get properties that are off market, because you're reminding the owner about, hey, you got your property vacant, it's deteriorating, what are you doing about it? Right? As soon as you remind them about these properties, they may be thinking, you're absolutely right. Some of these people inherit these properties. Some people don't want to deal with properties, or maybe they just have not thought about that property. So that then brings an alarm bell, and guess what? you are going to be contacted, and then they maybe said, look, if you're interested, give me an offer. And here's the thing that you do when they ask you about that: go and analyze it based on our analysis when we start this video, and then see what you can offer them. Make sure it's a win-win situation as well. Don't go and rob the property of them because you know they don't know about property. Because here's the thing: if you serve them well, they will refer you to other people which you would ultimately be able to buy properties from as well. Number 6, utilize property investment softwares, whatever that may be for you. I like to use property data. Property data is good. By the way, I'm not making any money from the website I've just shared with you. It's purely just to give back to you so you can use these platforms to help you with your investment journey. So property data is good. RightMove is also good. There are a few platforms out there that are very, very good to be used to utilize and do your analysis. Property data is good one. Land Insight is also good, especially if you're looking to develop properties in specific areas or region. They'll give you the data and kind of information that would help you make serious decision, as well as know which pockets or which investment areas you could actually use to be able to do development projects. Number 7, investigate off-market deals. Like I said previously, by having a good relationship with your estate agency, right, they may be able to actually tell you about property before it comes into market, so it doesn't hit the market, you're able to buy it. Or perhaps having direct contact with homeowners, landlords, for when they're ready to buy the property. For example, if you're going to networking events, you can ultimately certainly start getting connections with these homeowners and landlords, so when they're ready to sell their houses, they will contact you for you to help them sell the house. You may be able to buy it or pass it on to investors that you know. You could also do a direct mailing campaign where you can have someone sat on your computer or in a computer search for vacant houses, and then you send letters directly to the homeowners. But here's the thing: in order for that to work, it's not just by sending one letter and then you forget about it. No, it has to be consistent. You have to be posting letters maybe every couple of weeks for about 6 or 7 times, and hopefully then you can get the owners pick that letter up and read it and then contact you as you reminded them to sell their property. 8, the final one. I love this one because this one is what gets you significantly below market deals. Properties that are going through repossession. I know in the UK, due to data protection, you would not know this data. However, if you have relationship with serious receivers, mortgage brokers, accountants, they may be able to hint you about someone who's going through repossession, because obviously going through repossession is a pain. Not just a pain, it puts you in financial problems, it ruins your credit score. It's got so many detrimental impacts. So referring you to these sort of people, from a solicitor to a mortgage broker and an accountant, it's like helping that person not to go through all that process, because obviously if you buy the property off them, they're able to pay the loan, they will not have all these problems around them. So having contact with receivers, solicitors, mortgage brokers and accountants would help you get properties that are going through repossession, and obviously help you get these properties at discount. But please buy the properties ethically. Do not take advantage of the people when they are at a vulnerable stage, because at that time they are the most vulnerable investors or landlords or homeowners, because they're going through financial problems. So ensure that you serve them. You do not unethically buy that property, because if you do, they will remember that. But if you serve them well, they will still remember you. If anybody in their inner circle, your family members, friends and families, wanted to sell a property, guess who they will refer? They will refer you. So these are the 8 ways I buy undervalued properties that make me serious return on my income and makes my money actually work a lot harder for me. I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next one.